Friends, today is Wednesday, the 23rd of September. We're in the cathedral, just having finished the celebration of Mass. Kind of a dark, rainy day today, a September fall day. And the Gospel today has Jesus summoning his disciples, in particular the 12, and he sends them on mission. An important aspect of the ministry of Jesus was to prepare his apostles and disciples to continue his mission. And this is a little test run where he summons the 12 and sends them out to proclaim the kingdom and to heal the sick. That's the mission of Jesus himself. And he gives them power and authority over demons. His authority in order to complete his work and his mission. And the question comes up with this reading: how do you perceive your own spiritual life? Your life as a Christian, do you perceive it as a relationship and building a relationship between yourself and the Lord? And of course, that is very, very important. But do we also perceive it in the sense that we share the same mission as these disciples and apostles? Do you see yourself as being summoned and sent? Summoned and sent. To be an evangelist, in other words. That word, evangelist, evangelization, a word that most of us Catholics did not grow up with. It was a kind of a Protestant word. Evangelists were on television, on radio, and they were Protestant. They weren't Catholics. Bishop Sheen maybe being the one exception when we were growing up. But being sent on mission. Because as we realize our faith, our spirituality is not about ourselves. It's not just a relationship between me and Jesus, a kind of little privatized relationship. We are sent on mission. All of us are. We're for the world. As the disciples were sent on mission for the world, we ourselves are sent for the world. Jesus spoke of his disciples as salt and light for the world. And we have to get out there and do it. Even if we don't have the words for it. As St. Francis said, preach the gospel sometimes with words, sometimes just by our lives, how we live. People observe us. How do those Christians live? How do those Catholics live? And being authentic, living the gospel truthfully. And when we are salt and light, of course, it means that we have to do something. We have to be light. We have to illumine the world with the truth of the gospel. And that takes some courage and some doing, especially in the world as it is today, a world where darkness seems to have the upper hand. We have to be in there with the light, shining that light. The light of hope, the light of the gospel itself, the light of healing, the expelling of demons, and so on. And salt, I love that comparison of ourselves with salt. We need to flavor the world with the Christian message, with the Word of God, and to live it. Paul VI, the great pope of the last century, Paul VI said that we speak of the church as having a mission, but he said the church is mission. The church is mission. Evangelization is at the very heart of our faith, to spread the faith. And the gospel today talks about those who are sent. And it says there you are to go, in a sense, lightly. Don't be burdened with carrying all sorts of things, which only hold you back. You'll be moving from village to village. Don't take anything with you. Be light. In other words, put your trust completely in the Lord, not on things. Put your trust in the Lord. You know, the church learned early on that the word preached is most authentic when it comes from the standpoint of poverty, when the word is preached from poverty, not with $1,000 suits, but from poverty. And this is why I suspect St. Francis, St. Francis was so effective in his work and preaching as a friar. You know, today we celebrate the feast of Padre Pio, the saint of the last century, a very popular man, and one who, if he really intended, could have become a very wealthy man. He was so popular. But he said on more than one occasion, "All I wish to be is a poor friar praying. All I wish to be is a poor friar praying." From a standpoint of poverty, and how effective he was in his preaching, in his life, in his work as a confessor, in his prayers. I had the opportunity a few years ago to visit the shrine of Padre Pio on the eastern side of Italy, on the coast in kind of southeast Italy. Very popular site, a beautiful, giant, enormous shrine, modern building for Padre Pio. But to remember his simple message of love, of forgiveness, preaching the word, healing where he could. And he bore, of course, the stigmata, the wounds of Christ on his body. And thus we are those Latter-day Evangelists summoned by the Lord, sent by the Lord, to preach the kingdom, to live the kingdom, to help people see the truth of the gospel, to be salt and light. Hold that thought, and we'll see you tomorrow. The 24th of September, tomorrow is my 43rd anniversary of priesthood. Have a great day.